What's up? Papa up in the house. Yeah, man. So we're going to go ahead and get you guys a video, get you caught up on what I've got going on. Happy New Year to you and all of your family, all of your friends, everybody that you know. And also happy New Year's to Poppa T. So last we left off in the video, I was mounting the speakers into the holes, got the glass put on. What else did I get done? Oh yeah, I got the port done. Yeah, pretty much the box was done. So I've been working on getting the amps hooked up, getting the battery plugged in, and I've been grinding since the last video actually, and guess what? Got it playing. Also, one other thing I wanted to mention. Check out this channel right here. It's a really good channel. I like to watch this channel whenever he does do a video, and he's doing a documentary on the third rendition of this build right here. It's gonna get nasty. It's got a friend over there as well that's got a nasty build going on. So make sure you check out this channel. Yeah, man. All right, so as we continue to look around, and then hey, doggy. Hey, doggy. Ooh, shake it. Ooh, doggy. Don't want to shake. Don't want to shake. Show them fur. All right, guys, so here we go. Yeah, man. Okay, so this is basically the backside of the vehicle and what I've got going on. Yes, those are the old school Wolfram 7500s, not the Arctic Wolves. The Arctic Wolves is pretty much the same thing. It just redid the actual casing and all. So pretty much the same. That's what it is. The battery itself is a 135 C-Max, in which I built. I kind of skimped on this right here because you can barely see the display on it, but it does display you know where the cells are at. I got some extra wire ties up front, in which, you know, I can cut this loose and kind of see. I can kind of see back there a little bit, but I'd have to really look back there. But this is a light up display on the balancer. It lights up. Can't really see it, but let me see if I can get the camera in there so you can see it a bit better. Nope. Let me see. There we go. I can see it. Yeah. So it's saying it's sitting at 15.3. Yeah, 15.3. Which is basically where I charge 15.5. All of them are showing pretty much equal. Whenever I was building this battery, I did not start out balancing any of these, because that's what this thing is supposed to do. It's supposed to transfer all the energy from each cell to the next. As long as it's within a certain percentage, you shouldn't have to go and balance each and every single cell. You shouldn't have to do that, as long as it's within that tolerance range. So I was within that tolerance range, and worked out well. The battery is strong, and man, I don't really see any drops. I've got one alternator charging this thing up right now, and that's a Brand X 390, and it's doing very well. Let's take a look at this thing right here. This is one of the this is one of the best things that they have on the market at that place called Sparked Innovations. I am by no means sponsored by them at all. I just like what I like, and I buy it. All right, so this is basically the RBX. I think this is version 2. I've got a version 1. Version 1 didn't come with this up here, so I've got it sitting somewhere, I don't know, in my pile of car audio stuff. But yeah, version 1 didn't have this, and I wanted this voltage display. Okay, so this is right here, the circuit breaker, in which I can press this and turn it off completely, and then no power goes to it, and then turn it back on, and now power's going to this. This is basically the wire that's going to the battery, and then this is going over into here. This is also grounded to the battery. This is for my LEDs. This is also powered by that as well. There's powers down here. There's a ground. This is a 12 volt out. That's a ground out. And these are the switches, and so forth and so on. What I've also recognized, what I tried to do and I couldn't do it, I turned on my amps up here, and you can only use one. You can only use this, or this. So you can only use one. I've got the Spark cable, which is controls the switches up front. And like I said, this controls, I think this is channel 3 and channel 2. And I had to finagle my way around getting other things to cut on, but once you buy this thing, you'll understand it. If you need any help understanding how this thing works, hit me up. Very, very useful tool. I know I went into detail with this, but I actually enjoy it. All right, so the amps themselves, they're all wired up accordingly. This wire right here I got from Limitless Lithium. It is what is that called? Yeah, tinned. It's tinned copper. You see it right there, tinned OFC. And then the other, this is the sky high wire I got. So I just utilized all the wire that I had left over from other builds. And then I already had 2 runs coming up from up front, coming back here to the battery. So there's 2 runs off of the one alternator that's charging this battery. If I decide to put my 3 alts on there, I'm just going to split it in half, 1 wire for each alternator. Slam Panda is back. I seen a post from him. This Slam box. All my Slam Panda stuff is still operational, still works well. And yeah, we're all good. The system itself, as far as the base goes, it's wired to 0.5. Handles it just fine for a daily.
I found this on the web.
Uh-oh, you ain't found nothing. Handles it just fine. These are my outputs right here from the subs, from the inside of where I wired it up. And does well. Stays cool back here, so I don't really need fans. If I need to add fans, I will. But right here, you can kind of see where I gapped it some to get it off of the back, to have more airflow from the bottom. And that's about it back here. All right, guys, we are inside of the vehicle now, the back. These are the amps. All of this stuff I had in the Trailblazer, by the way. I just kind of saved it because I knew what I wanted to do with it. I wanted to sell it. But again, I mentioned in the other video, I didn't have any takers. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna, use it elsewhere. And I did. So, these amps right here are 250.4s. I believe they're Class D. It's the EZY DSP 6/8 channel. I did have this in my Trailblazer, but I needed a 12 channel in there to do what I would needed to do as far as all my wiring and everything. Just being very transparent about this right here. And this may help somebody, okay? Earlier I did mention that I had a ground out on that RBX box in the back, right? So what I did is I ran a ground from the DSP all the way back over there and back to there. Now I'll give you a little time to think about that for a minute. Okay, now that you've thought about it, yeah. The ground was way too long. I was getting a lot of signal noise, and that's just that. So in order to help me on that, what I did, now I did have some bad RCAs. I will tell you that the RCAs was introducing noise into this DSP, and I thought it was the actual unit itself. But I thought to myself, I'm like, you know, I had this in the Trailblazer and it was pretty quiet, and I got way more equipment in there than I do in here. Even though these Tahoes are noisy anyway, for most of the time at the shows when I've been in these Tahoes, they're always noisy. I don't know why, but they are. So I've got mine down pretty quiet now. There is a little bit, but it's enough to drown it out at about 10 volume. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really hear it as you're going down, you know, just doing casual driving and stuff like that, even with the amps on. So when I turned the DSP on, it was like a zzz. I was like, oh my God, that's bad. So even with the truck off. Now, let me turn you around here. If your vehicle is doing it with the truck off, it is not a, it doesn't have anything to do with the alternator. So the misconception is when you turn the key on and then you hear alternator whine, yeah, that's got to do with probably the grounding up there with the alternator or something or not. More or less, it's probably something to do with your smaller components, okay? So your head unit, your usually in my case, it's always the freaking mids and highs amp. Always. It's always either the front channel. Most of the time, it's always that front channel on Pioneer radios. And don't be telling me about no Pico fuse. Whatever. We skip past that. Yeah, you can use ground loop isolators. You can use all this other stuff. But for the most part, there's some ground loop somewhere. Ground loop isolators are band-aids, but you probably need to address the ground issue. So, close the loop. So since this was open to that component in the back, and I know my truck is actually grounded, I just grounded it to the truck itself. I found a ground inside of here that I grounded this to. And what's crazy, even in the book, it tells you to find a separate ground. So that's what I did. Knocked the noise out. We're all good. It's all clean. The switches are up here. Down there. I took this out and then just made me two areas where the switches are. I've had these in here for a while. Get that slam pounder bass knob. Yeah, best bass knobs out there. All right, let's see where our battery's sitting at. With our SMD meter, float meter. Oh yeah, it's net 15 too. Now let's start the truck up. Let me see. Turn this off. And while I'm driving, this thing does go like up to 15.5. And it's in yellow because this is not the high voltage one. So it wasn't intended to be in the danger zone with overcharging, like, you know, bigger systems up to 15.5, 15.8 or whatever. I should have got the HV one. It would be nice to have it so I could put it in here and take this and put it somewhere else. But yeah, that's the one I actually needed in here. But I didn't know that. I've had this meter for many years, but I had no idea that I was ever going to charge above 14.8. So, oh, let me turn the amps on. So you hear the little bit of a noise. Yeah, that's it. That's all I get is just a little bit. And I think it's probably because my RCA wire for the Sub amp is running right in between here, so I think I'm gonna cut that out and rerun it over there, and it should quieten that up. So it's definitely getting interference. I just gotta order another one. I don't know what this pork soda is, no idea, but we'll play this one. Yeah, so I can turn my lights on from up here too, you can see. See, the noise goes away, so it's definitely that the RCA cable. I'm gonna just cut it out and then rerun a new one. And I want to show you this back here, what this looks like. See, everything pops on, looks good. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and shoot, man. That's it. Peace out.